Attention A1 Trading Show fans. If you're looking to get funded, we've got a solution for you. Our partnered prop firm FX2 Funding helps traders get access to up to $200,000 in trading capital. FX2 Funding is not your average prop firm. We've chosen them as our partner because of their fair examination rules, their professional and available customer service, and they have an outstanding reputation in the prop firm space. Here's a quick look at their evaluation process. First, they don't have a time limit on their evaluations. That means that you can take your time when passing your evaluation. There's no pressure to rush your trading. Second, there is only one phase to pass in their evaluation before getting access to your funded account. Also, their evaluation fees are fairly priced and fully refundable upon passing. Once you're funded, you'll be able to keep up to 85% of your trading profits. Finally, a rule we know swing traders will love: you can hold your positions over the weekend. For a limited time, get 15% off any of their account challenges with promo code A1Trading15. That's 15% off any account challenge with code A1Trading15. If you're ready to get funded, we're dropping a link in the chat right now, and you can also find it in the description down below. So go ahead and get signed up today for 15% off with promo code A1Trading15. Now, back to the show.
To the show, thank you to James's pre-created video for informing us all on, of course, FX2 funding. If you guys aren't funded with FX2, check them out. They are stream partners, lovely people to work with. And again, if you're looking for a funding program, they one thing that I really like about FX2, and yes, of course, they're sponsors, so take it with a grain of salt, of course, as you would with any sponsorship concept. But we had so many prop firms come to us and be like, hey, we want to be your partner. Hey, we want to be your partner. The reason we actually ended up going with FX2 was mostly how it felt. We looked at, of course, their evaluations, and nowadays prop firms have so many different similar evaluations, right? Or so many similar evaluations. Everybody kind of looks similar in terms of what prop firms are offering. FX2 had an amazing team. The people there were very, very easy to talk to and work through. And that's really important to us. We want to make sure that, if you guys are communicating with a prop firm, you want somebody who's responding to you. That's really, really important to us. So when we were looking for a new partner to prop firm side of things, that's why we went with them. So of course, they have great offers as well, but communication for us was really the big one. Anyways, welcome back, guys, to another show, and we are back. I have something I want to ask the EDGEFINDER users in the room. I have an idea, and I'm not sure how I feel about it. So the way you guys see me use the EDGEFINDER usually is, I pull up my, my Chrome here, and I've got like this, and then I've got one tab that's EDGEFINDER and one tab that's this. How crazy would it be if I just had a different browser for my EDGEFINDER? I don't know. I'm going to try it out today. I might hate it, but the concept being like I could switch back a little easier, but actually not really, because I have two different browsers open. So that's going to be, I'm changing my mind already. I don't think this is going to work. But I have noticed that the EDGEFINDER, for whatever reason, Firefox runs really fast compared to Chrome for at least Looker Studio, which is what the EDGEFINDER is built in. Anyways, I think that's going to be too distracting for me. I'm just going to pull it up the way I usually pull it up. Good morning, good afternoon. Welcome back, everybody. We're here for unemployment claims coming out in just about, 10 minutes to go here before unemployment claims, as well as durable goods. This could be market moving for the US dollar here. We're going to let the EDGEFINDER load. And let's actually go to the dollar. Well, you know what? There's somewhere we need to start. There is somewhere we need to start. The NASDAQ, guys. What the heck happened? You might be wondering. Well, it's the beloved, the Wall Street darling right now is NVIDIA. Okay. If you, if you trade indices, listen up for a second. If you don't trade indices, then what are you doing? I'm just kidding. You're probably trying to be careful. Forex brokers, the sizing that they do on indices is crazy. So I don't blame you if you don't trade indices, because unless you have a large account on a Forex broker, it's really hard to trade indices. But anyways, not the point. NVIDIA flew higher yesterday as their earnings was pretty much a home run hit. It looked really promising, and the market absolutely loved that. Well, again, the whole market's watching NVIDIA. So, of course, what did the whole market do? Well, the NASDAQ on the daily candle just shot up and broke through levels of resistance that we had marked up yesterday on stream. Now, if you'll remember, I don't like to short the NASDAQ, and this is a great example of why. Just a little bit of optimism can pop the markets quite a bit, which I love to be long for. Speaking of looking to be long, how can I get involved, right? That's the next question I have. What can I do here? I had some messages from members in our Discord. I woke up to some really cool messages. People said that they were long the NASDAQ and trailing stops, and I was like, good for you. And I'm so jealous of you because that is my favorite trade in the whole wide world, right? I love trading the NASDAQ long. When I can catch opportunities, I will do so. But let's speak of opportunities as we get into this. Of course, here's the 1 hour chart. NASDAQ popped up real strong. Is there a potential that we get a nice pullback opportunity? Very possible. The NASDAQ has been very volatile recently. So if we see some sell-off here today, I may actually be looking to get long the NASDAQ. Now, I'm not sure what the EDGEFINDER has to say on this, and I'll probably have to confirm with that as we get closer. But I do like this pop. This pop is a really strong breakout. Remember the 4 hour chart that we talked about yesterday, guys? The NASDAQ was able to break through that downward trend line. You can see this was a big barrier for price all along the way. And then notably, there it is yesterday, the big pop above. And, the question is, why is the NASDAQ so specifically moving? Well, you'll notice the dollar is also kind of moving up. Stock market up, dollar up. That's a little sketchy, right? Well, it's really just specific to the NVIDIA optimism around, AI and big tech potentially having some better growth to come. Anyways, that is where I'm at with things to watch right now. The NASDAQ has kind of popped its way back into my radar. And anyways, yeah, guys, we've got 6 to 7 minutes here, about 6 minutes to go before we have unemployment claims, which are likely to move the dollar and likely to move indices, gold, etc. Denominations, of course, of reacting to the dollar's movement. The dollar's trading up, though. Here's the 4 hour chart. Let's take a look at the hourly. You can see the hourly is making a nice push off of the lows, and it does look like the dollar wants to retest these highs. I'll be honest, this is an upward trend. It's looking like we may want to retest that. However, right, I don't predict what's going to happen with the news. I try and react to it, right, and trade accordingly. So, yeah, I'm looking for maybe the squeeze up to the top here of the dollar. I'm not personally in any trades that involve the dollar at this time. I am long indices through some of my options trading, which has been really good. So I had a good last few days here. Long the Dow, which has been, not as good as, of course, the NASDAQ, but we've had some push off the lows, which has been good, giving back some of that here today. The real big catalyst yesterday for indices was NASDAQ or NVIDIA, which really pushed up other tech stocks, which, of course, if you're familiar with indices, that is the indices 101 is, NASDAQ is quite tech heavy as well as financials heavy. So anyways, euro dollar, I want to talk about here, guys. We're looking at the hourly chart. Let's actually start at the 4 hour chart. And guys, do me a quick favor. What are you guys watching here today? Let me know in the chat. And I'll pull up some things for us to look at. Yeah, so the euro here, 4 hour chart, we've got some resistance here. We've got some resistance here. Actually, you could see price kind of rolling over here this morning. It does look like the euro is kind of weak. And going off of that, if that dollar rallies to the previous high, that probably puts more pressure to the downside there on euro. So from a technical analysis standpoint, interesting. Got some Aussie dollar traders, euro dollar, pound dollar, gold. Cool. Nobody's trading the indices. Interesting. Usually there's a couple people trading the NASDAQ and S&P. In the audience. Seems like a currency crowd today. Anyways, yeah, so euro kind of pushing lower. Euro looks really bearish to me, guys. And if we go to the EDGEFINDER here for a second, let's pull up the watch list here. Euro still in the very bearish camp. If you guys caught this sell, then congrats to you. The EDGEFINDER has been really bearish. I'll show you guys something. I don't show this tab often enough, but I really, really should. It's a great tab. Let's pull up euro. this tab, and I think just a little insider scoop, if you guys are EDGEFINDER users, check this out. I think I'm going to put a miniature, I was playing around with the miniature version of this on the individual scanner sheets. So what this sheet does, let me give you a quick rundown on what this does. This shows the EDGEFINDER scoring against the price of the asset. So what you can see here is that the euro, it's been calling for bearish setups on the euro since about August, right? So it's been primarily bearish on August. And sure enough, the market has just gone down, down, and down. So if you've caught this euro move using or with the help of the EDGEFINDER, then congrats. Shane says he's trading indices. Cool. My fellow Shane, appreciate you, man. What's up? Indices trader here as well. I do trade currencies, guys, but I trade if I can find index and gold trades. I am rather interested there over currencies. Nothing against currencies. It's just a personal preference. I prefer to trade them. Anyways, shorted euro at the recent resistance. Awesome. Yeah. So what this is looking at, guys, what do you think? I mean, EDGEFINDER users, let me know. I think I should add a feature like this, like a miniature version on the individual sheets so we can look at scoring over time, right? The whole idea here is scoring of the EDGEFINDER over time. So again, this was giving us bearish signals early August. And since then, here's what the price has done, right? You can see the bar graph shows the score. Let me know. Do you guys like that idea? EDGEFINDER users, this is kind of like feedback hour. Anyways, guys, we are getting close to, of course, we've got about a minute and a half to unemployment claims. So unemployment claims will be impactful as we go into this. I like the idea. Tutorial will be nice too. Yeah, I agree. We probably need some explanations behind that, but yeah. Okay, so again, I'm going to set up my chart here, guys. We've got just over a minute to go. So I'm going to watch the unemployment claims come out and give you guys a little bit of a reaction. You know, like I usually say on news streams, if you're a newer viewer here, a lot of people trade the spike. I don't trade the spike, and I don't encourage people to trade the spike. The spreads that you're going to get on your brokerage are so dangerous, and so many people blow up so much money doing that. Do not trade the spike. Trade, in my opinion, the way to do it is to look at the aftermath of the news. So we've got about 50 seconds to go here. You guys are a couple seconds behind me. But yeah, we are, we've got gold pulled up in the bottom right. We've got the euro in the top right, NASDAQ bottom left. Let's put up dollar yen in the chat here, or in the top left chart here. We can watch the reaction there. Dollar yen really strong going into this. Euro poking up a little bit. And again, we're about 25 seconds out from the news. So let's go ahead and, you know, we're all set up here. We'll see if we can get any major reaction to, of course, unemployment claims, which do have a tendency to move the markets. Breaking news coming in. All right, guys, and let's see what we get. Should be hitting the market any second now. All right, and dollar yen making an initial push higher, euro dollar giving back some further gains that it just made. NASDAQ poked lower for a second. Gold poked lower here for a second as well. Very interesting. Euro dollar still staying down towards the lows. Gold, same thing. NASDAQ punching the lows again. Let's see what we got in terms of claims, guys. So we were getting the numbers coming in. Of course, durable orders could also, durable goods orders could be impactful as well. So a little better than expected, slightly on unemployment claims, 230,000 claims for unemployment compared to the expected 239, right? Of course, this being a lower number shows a stronger U.S. economy, right? Less people are unemployed. Think about that. Logically, that makes sense, right? Core durable goods came out better than expected. Durable goods orders month over month. So core and durable, usually this takes out, of course, some of the more volatile areas like energy, food. Usually that's what core alludes to, right? So durable goods month over month, minus 5.2% compared to the minus 4.1%. So slightly mixed for the dollar, but still, I would say net positive USD as we got, again, in terms of claims, showing some resiliency still in the jobs market. U.S. jobs still strong. Yes, exactly. Right. So we would expect to see some positive reaction to things like dollar yen, negative to euro dollar, right? Stronger dollar could put the pressure on the euro. Gold, same story. Gold back down to 1914.5 printing. NASDAQ recuperating some of its losses there. Quick move down and back up. NASDAQ moved really, really strong overnight. And now, guys, let's talk about some setups. How do we trade the aftermath? Is this really bullish for the dollar? Well, short term, what this confirms for me, if you guys are trading DXY, this short term confirms dollar strength. We might have a strong dollar day here today. And if you're watching this as a day trader, as an active trader here, guys, dollar looks strong. 15-minute chart, 30-minute chart. Dollar does look strong at this time. And again, you can see this big gray zone. Let's make that relevant to our conversation here for a second by going to the 4-hour chart. And check this out, guys. 4-hour chart is still in a uptrend for the dollar index. Remember what I said earlier in the stream? I said I think we probably go back to retest these highs. And now with unemployment claims coming out and looking relatively strong, well, I should say it's not really a huge hit, or it's not like a huge, amazing U.S. economy thing, but it's not necessarily bad. And the U.S. dollar is in a nice uptrend. I think we probably make a run back for 104. We'll see if I'm right about that. Short-term dollar strength. Long-term, I'm not a dollar bull by any means. I'm trading what I'm seeing right now. And the Edge Finder is what I use to find trades that I'm taking. And you can see right now we're getting a lot of crowding on the dollar long ideas, right? Dollar yen, if you've caught this move. Dollar Swiss, if you caught this move. For Edge Finder users, I forgot to say this, but I should have said it already. Remember, we are doing a 2-day long free access to our premium product. So this tool that you're seeing everything on this, you can have today for free. We have 1 day remaining. Actually, let's do something real quick. We are going to have a limited number of people who are going to get access. So please do this quickly. If you are serious, if you would like to try out our product, the reason we're doing this, straightforward. It is a marketing campaign to let people try out our product. And if they like it and they want to support our project, purchase a copy after the trial is up. We have 1 day remaining of the totally free access of the Edge Finder. If you've been watching my streams for a while, if you've been watching the show here that we put on and you see everybody using the Edge Finder and you want to check it out for yourself, click this link right now. This is a first come, first serve kind of thing. We are not able to give copies to absolutely everybody, as it's a somewhat manual process for us. So if you would like to try out the Edge Finder, we have 1 free day remaining. It's ending tonight. If you have not checked out the Edge Finder, please click this link. This is your chance. We probably will not do this for at least several weeks, where we do a 2-day long trial out like this again. So if you would like to check it out, please do that right now. Again, it is full free access, 1 day remaining on our 2-day free event on the Edge Finder. So if you have not heard about that, don't miss it. It is ending. Okay, so when is the Edge Finder update coming out? So this update is already live. So if you are an Edge Finder user, you should have access now to the Edge Finder Pro. If you have not gotten your access, if you've already purchased the Edge Finder, let's just do a public service announcement, if you guys don't mind. Chandler, if you would drop the talk to link for us. If you are a previous Edge Finder customer, if you've purchased a copy and you were on the older version of the Edge Finder, we have now released all the updated features, or at least most of them. If you have not already gotten access to the new link, please message us using this link right now. Someone from our support staff will help you out if you purchased in the past. If you have not purchased and you'd like to, again, message us or fill out this form and someone will contact you with access to the Edge Finder's trial period. Okay, so I know, sorry for all the public service announcements. The dollar's still strong here. Let's bring in Frank here for a second. Say hello to him. Hey, Frank, what's going on? And how you doing, man?
Hey, how's it going? I'm good.
I'm good. So unemployment claims came out. Did you see the number?
Yeah, basically unchanged, right?
Pretty much.
Okay, yeah. So I don't really think much is happening over on that side of the data, but I'm just watching the yields today again. Same thing as before. So today it's up just above 5% again. And my bearish outlook on gold and indices was obviously wrong yesterday. I stopped out on a short trade on NAS, but I'm looking at I guess I'm still looking to trade. I don't really have a bias right now. I think if yields keep rising, then I'll have more of a bearish bias in the short term. But it's tough to say because we still have the symposium tomorrow.
Yep.
With all the Fed meetings and stuff. So I will just be looking for more trade setups. And so far, what I see as of right now is kind of some bearishness on gold. I mean, it reacted quite negatively to the jobs news, but I'm not really sure what this means. This is very early in the day, so obviously the candle can look different, but the way it looks now is pretty bearish. If it closes like this, we could probably see further downside, in my opinion, but
It
I'm
does
not
kind of make
very.
sense, Frank, if you think about like yesterday's theme was, PMI numbers showing some slowdown in Europe, followed by, not necessarily the most exciting US numbers either. So it's kind of like the theme that was pushing gold down yesterday, at least has been a little bit muted by the fact that like job numbers were not like it'd be today, gold would probably be up like 1945 if unemployment claims were disappointing in the sense of like showing the job market really slowing down. If that was to crack, that probably would have followed nicely to the PMI theme. But it does seem like basically audience context to put it in simple forms, if you're newer to fundamentals, the idea is basically yesterday's PMI numbers showed some weakness in the European economy as well as some in the US economy as well. Not as bad as Europe, but still gold focuses on, of course, the world's economy, not just the US. And so anyways, today, as Frank was just pointing, claims kind of came out unchanged. So as expected, so the jobs market is by no means in peril, at least at this time. And so peril does tend to cause the gold market to rise, right? People fearful about the economy might choose to buy gold. So I kind of am with you there on that, Frank. If we're seeing a reaction here this morning, a little bit of a a muted response to yesterday's really PMI bullish day for gold. I don't know. I think that could be something. What would you do to enter a trade on gold? What are you looking at?
Well, so I can look both long and short side, but right now I think I might lean towards the short side just because of the yields. So as long as yields are rising, like we've been talking about the past couple days, that it's definitely going to put a lot of pressure on the indices and gold, and especially gold because it's trading directly against the dollar.
Mm-hmm.
So I do want to keep an eye on gold and possibly take a short here. S&P, however, and NAS, we saw very high expectations for earnings yesterday, and then Nvidia, the number one stock in the S&P, broke all expectations and even guidance. They expected revenue to increase by, I can't remember the number, but it was a pretty large amount. So looking forward, tech stocks look really good.
Yep.
But just overall, it's still very mixed. I think yesterday's move was pretty incredible for gold and the stock market. So, today could just be a profit taking day, and we could see some selling off and some covers on the long side. So right now I am probably looking to short gold, but like I said, but not I don't really know what I'm going to do with the indices right now. I got to wait for the news before
Yeah, that's
making
fair
any
enough.
major
I think,
decisions.
and for viewers, Frank and I both kind of missed some of this move on the upside yesterday, right, with the NASDAQ. And we've been on the sidelines with the indices. And in some ways, that's kind of helped me, not being in on some of this tougher, downward trend stuff that's been going on. But now that we've started to break out here, again, we've got some momentum from NVIDIA's really optimistic outlook. I think there's a possible trade on the long side, but I've got to wait to see if it comes back for me. If it doesn't, I'll probably just miss the move, and it is what it is. So indices will be really interesting, I think, for the remainder of this week to watch, especially as you mentioned. We had the NVIDIA earnings, which were very, very important, but I think the market may also experience a couple days here, Frank, of pullback before the Fed symposium, right? That at the end of the day, okay, good outlook for NVIDIA is one stock in the market, which is of course an important stock to pay attention to. But there's also been some other stocks that have been sketchy, right? Foot Locker is a good indicator, right? Selling shoes is a very good, like, ground level indicator of the economy, and their stock is getting crushed right now. So there's a little bit of mixed sentiment there, and also of course with the Fed symposium around the corner, guidance could be, hey, we're very much dedicated to holding out on interest rates for an extended period of time to let this inflation thing really, make sure it's really gone. So a little bit of headwinds there, I think, for indices. So Frank, I want to thank you for coming on. I won't keep you any longer. Appreciate you coming on and sharing some ideas with me on just a reaction to, of course, the claims here this morning, and of course, forecasting for the symposium tomorrow. Thanks, Frank.
Thank you.
All right. Yep. Frank and I have been trading, as I will say each day. Frank and I have been trading for a long time together. We do a lot of fundamental and technical trading analysis together. And funny enough, he's actually in the same building as me. A lot of you guys who are newer to the streams, you don't know, we have like a studio office here in Atlanta, Georgia. And Frank is on a couple walls down in another office doing his thing. And so we're living the dream, man. We got a trading studio and recording studio. This is a good gig. Anyways, guys, we are going to go in just a moment to Miko and Marco, who are going to be joining on the show for our Technical Thursdays segment. We've talked a lot of fundamentals today. I think it's time to get into some technical charts, talk about some setups with Miko and Marco, but we're going to do that just after we thank our sponsors here that make this show possible. There is a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes to make this, producers doing a really great job, as well as, of course, sponsors are required financially to support everything we do. So check out our sponsors, which will allow you to actually get free access to our products when you sign up with them. It is, of course, 8cap, a teamed up broker with us that will allow you, if you set up an account with them, to get our products for free. Here's more information on that, and then we'll be joined back with Miko and Marco in just a moment.
Attention A1 Trading Show fans, if you're interested in getting free access to the EDGEFINDER or our premium trade alerts, listen up. For a limited time, our show's partnered broker 8cap is giving out free access to our products when you sign up for a new trading account with them. If you already have a broker, you may want to consider switching to 8cap because of their low trading costs, a wide range of trading assets, and their amazing customer support. If you'd like to get access to our software and Discord server for free, click the link being dropped in the chat right now and ask one of our team members for more information. Don't miss your chance for free products and an award-winning broker. Now back to the A1 Trading Show.
All right, guys, and we are back for Technical Thursdays with Miko and Marco. What's up, guys, and welcome back to the show.
Hello. Thank you.
What's up, guys? Hey, so big pop yesterday on the indices. I know you guys don't watch them as much as I do. Actually, what's really cool about this show, when we do this rotation between the three of us, I'm really biased towards the indices. I know, Miko, you're really kind of wide range on the currency pairs, and Marco, you kind of narrow in on a couple USD pairs. So it's kind of a good mix. I just was thinking about that as you guys were joining the show. It's cool just to have our different feedback. We talked a lot about indices here just moments before you guys joined us. So I want to go to Marco first. Marco, you do some USD pairs. Of course, we just had claims, which might have moved the markets for us a little bit here. What are you watching here today on your watch list? We'll let you share your screen if you'd like and take over for a minute.
Yep, sure. So let me just share the TradingView screen. So I am watching the Aussie and the US dollar. I do currently have a pending order on right here. So after this candle, I did set my pending short order on this small inside bar with a 12 pip stop loss. But looks like I'm not going to be tagged into the trade. So the market has now gone without me. Once this candle closes, I will be removing my order, as it would be, to be honest, it would be too far for me to take a trade. Why am I looking to short here? Well, for me, I'm seeing this sort of a range. Then I'm seeing an ascending structure out of the range. And then I'm seeing some definite strong bearish momentum. And then this small one candle pullback, we continue. Again, strong break. So perfect setup for me, 10 out of 10. Just unfortunately looks like this time I will not be tagged in. For the rest of the pairs, EU kind of range bound, maybe starting to see a bit of potential in this red momentum. But again, overall picture for me is range bound. EJ is kind of only ascending, no real momentum, no big red or blue candles in this current price action. Aussie US dollar I just covered. Aussie JPY for this one, again, range bound, not really seeing consecutive blue or red candles, so being more patient with this one as well. The pound for me is stuck between the low and the high, so I'm waiting for the break of the low or the high, waiting for a breakout out of this level. I'm expecting a large range because of this V reversal, which usually signals a range bound market. And NJ, my final pair, is range bound as well. So to sum up, only the dollar pairs are on my watch list, and out of all of them, only the Aussie and US dollar is looking very, very high probability to continue trending to a downside right now. So I'm seeing if I can get in maybe a bit lower on a nice flag pattern or something like that.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, and you just pulled up briefly that euro dollar for a second. That thing is just really selling off here today. The euro cannot seem to catch a break here recently. We'll go to Miko. What do you think on I guess anything that you're really watching? Preferably, well, if you have anything that you're watching or trading that's USD related, maybe you could start there and then open it up to whatever you're interested in.
Yeah. So I don't have any trades on the USD at the moment, but there is a couple I'm looking at. I do like the look of gold. I do think there's a lot more downside to be had with this particular market. I want to see a bit more retracement because we did take the lows. I think last time we talked about gold, last Thursday, gold was around here. And now we've kind of seen a really nice up move. So I do still have a bearish bias for gold. I'm looking at a retest of this particular area here around 1930, 1940. So I'm looking for a lower high in that particular area. Right now, we're quite bullish. I know we're seeing some downside, but we have seen a pretty big up move this week. So I'm looking for a little bit more upside into that area. And then that's when I'll start looking for my entries and possibly a lower high forming for gold. But still a long way away from that. So I'm kind of ruling that off until either tomorrow or potentially next week. So I will be keeping an eye on gold. And I also do like pound USD. However, I'm not looking to trade it just yet because we're still in a range. So we've got the high of the range around this area here, and we've got the low of the range around this area for all the wicks. So I do think there's a really nice trade coming on with pound USD. I was short this one a couple of weeks back around here. Got taken out break even, but if we can break to the downside or to the upside, but at the moment, it does look likely we are to break to the downside. So if we can do that, I do like taking out a nice break and retest and looking to continue the trend. Pound USD has been bearish for quite a while now, maybe 2-3 weeks. I do look at this kind of range as like a pause within the trend and price kind of ready to kind of continue that. Potentially could reverse. Flexible. If market does break to the upside, I'll be happy to take buys. But at the moment, I'll be looking to see if we can break through 1.263. And then I'll be interested in shorts. At the moment, I do have two positions. I am short on Aussie CAD. I hopped in this one on the 4H time frame, and the previous 4H candle came into this area here. And yeah, I'm in that trade. That's my first target. My final target, I'm looking for us to come back into the lows here. So I've been looking to short Aussie CAD for a while now, and finally got an entry. So we'll see how that plays out. And also got into some longs and pound CAD yesterday, which does look too hot at the moment. I did get into a nice entry, did see some momentum, didn't quite hit my TP1 for me to go break even, so I'm still risk on this one, but we'll see what happens. They kind of cancel each other out, so it's a bit like a hedge, but I didn't intend it to be like that. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah,
but we'll see what happens with those.
I do like that the Aussie CAD trade, Miko, because I'll show you something just real quick on my end. Aussie CAD was also on my radar. It's not a currency pair that I usually trade, but it really checks all the boxes, almost literally, on the EDGEFINDER for a really nice setup. On the higher time frames, as you just mentioned, it's got that nice downward trend, which looks really good. And then another big one is just the economic figures. Pretty much when comparing Australia versus Canada, you get a nice confirmation pretty much preference goes to Canada across the board on, you know, GDP growth, inflation, interest rates. And I love to kind of just check that against my technical trades, because sometimes I'll pull up a chart like Aussie CAD and I'm like, this looks really good. You know, let me think about taking the trade here. And then when I use the edge finder and then I get like that extra confirmation, it's just like icing on the cake. It's like, okay, cool. I've got extra layer of confirmation on the trades. And whether it be obviously, you know, the software that we've built or something else, right? Having those layers of confirmation to whatever you're doing is really, really important. Even if it's just confirmation in the form of conversations with other people. I know that on these shows, I love just hearing you guys' thoughts, because it's like, you know, if we're kind of feeling similar or dissonance between us on different currency pairs, that also can be really useful, just to like be like, hey, you know what, maybe I didn't look close enough at, you know, the way the 4-hour chart looks, or, you know, the 15-minute chart, whatever we're looking at. So definitely useful to have these kind of collaborative shows like this for that purpose. So Miko, I'm with you definitely on gold, mentioning that. You know, for me personally, I'm, you know, waiting to see kind of a little bit of structure on the lower time frames to form. You know, perhaps something like this starts to form. I might get back in on the short side, but I also don't hate the idea of waiting for, I would tend to agree. You know, you had this really strong kind of downward structure in the market. It seems to have broken out of that. I got stopped out on one of my shorts, the latest one. So I shorted a couple times last week, and all of them were, I had 3 winners back to back, which is very rare for me, as my win rate is usually not that high. However, my last one was, it was the end of the party. Price broke out and started to trend back the other direction. So I'm kind of just on the fence with gold as well, but it is one that I am personally watching. So I'm glad that you did that for us, Miko. Marco, so no pending setups, but I'd love to hear your take on gold. Specifically, I know you don't trade it per se on your strategy, but if you could give us your take on gold on the lower time frames, that'd be awesome, because I know you kind of focus on the hourly. Miko and I both kind of just did some 4-hour analysis. What do you think about gold hourly chart?
Sure. So on the 1 hour, I think I said it in the last recap. For me, according to my strategy, this would be descending. So I know gold likes to trend very correctively like this, but for me, or most forex pairs, let's say, when I'm seeing break of the lows and leaving wicks like this and a definite slowdown right here at the end, this is kind of signaling that the market actually wants to go up. So I'm not surprised that it did reverse to the upside. I am seeing some strong legs such as this one, but it's more sort of like a news candle to me. So when I'm looking for a trend, I usually want to see consecutive blue or red candles, because these one candle pushes can usually be a fake out. So what I would be looking for, I would be looking for the momentum to kick back in and to show me some consecutive blue candles right now, because I am expecting a trend to the upside out of this descending channel. Currently pausing a bit right here on the top on the 1 hour. So what I would be waiting for is for a breakout out of this range and a nice uptrend, and then I would be looking to buy if I was trading it. So that's my analysis on kind of the 1 hour.
Yep. No, and that's the cool thing about it too, is, you know, Marco, you've got the hourly chart pulled up, and I would actually agree. That's personally why I'm not in any short trades at this time, is the hourly has kind of flipped. We look short-term bullish, but then to Miko's point, that concept of like waiting for the bigger push could be really interesting. Here's just a quick look at where retail is generally at right now. This is actually this has been in the process of swapping. So you know, ask us 3 days ago to pull up this chart, and it was very much in favor of, you know, retail traders were very, very long. You know, as the market was kind of trending lower, retail traders were really long in for a really painful ride, right? And now we kind of see this thing kind of going back to a 50-50, getting closer, still 42-58. So it does seem like retail traders are getting, you know, back on the short side now that this market is rallying. So that's the other reason for me why I'm just kind of like cautious to short something, as, you know, the crowded trade, I think right now, is to just kind of short every little pop. And it's like you to Miko's point, maybe it's worth waiting for a lower high. Maybe it's worth letting kind of some of this to play out before looking to get short. I think that there's, in my opinion, no rush to trading gold after you've had this really regimented downtrend. Let it pull back on the higher time frame, and if you're like me, trading like the hourly, Marco, us trading a little lower time frame, wait for the signs, breakouts, possibilities there could be a little bit more interesting there. Miko, you mentioned gold. Any other things that you're watching for possible setups? I know you trade a wide range, so I want to open it up to anything else you wanted to pull up.
Yeah, I was looking at a lot of the yen pairs this week. I missed a couple opportunities on Swiss yen and Euro yen for some buys. I am still pretty bullish on the yen pairs, but they have been retracing. I've been a little bit bearish this week, so I'm looking at maybe some maybe intraday, intra-week down moves first, and then maybe some buys later. Well, not later this week, probably next week, but I'm very, very bullish on the yen pairs. And when I mean bullish, I'm predominantly talking about the daily and the weekly time frames, and we've still got a very comfortable uptrend here on the Swiss yen. Euro yen as well, very comfortable. Dollar yen, very comfortable there as well, although I think I've missed that one. CAD yen, I'm a little bit with this one's kind of a bit sideways in this area here. So I'm not talking so much about CAD yen, but pound yen looking very strong as well. That's coming down to some nice areas. AUD and NZJPY, I'm not really touching as well because I'm quite bearish on AUD and NZD. So I'm not very inclined to be looking to buy AUD and NZJPY, but particularly for me, Swiss yen, if I can get some decent pullbacks for that one, I'll be interested for some longs. We didn't retest this level here, so I'm seeing potentially if we might get another retest of that area. Dollar yen, I think I've missed the boat on that one. It looks like it's already pushing up. Pound yen as well has got some nice areas slightly further down here as well, possibly some nice buys around 183. So I'm still looking at attacking highs with the yen pairs probably next week.
Okay. Fair enough. I wanted to end our segment here today with a question for both of you guys, because I had somebody ask me this and I wanted to pass the question to you as well. And I'll go to Marco with this first. Marco, how many trades at one time can you possibly hold? And I imagine there's probably going to be some slight differences in our answers here. But Marco, how many trades at the same time are you able to hold? I'm talking about your short-term strategy, no like longer-term things that you might do. What does that generally look like for you?
So as I'm trading 6 pairs, I would hold 6 trades on those 6 pairs. Yeah, basically when I backtest 1 pair at a time. So I don't do any sort of pair correlation, and I would not hesitate to take another trade even if I was already in free trades on 3 other pairs. As far as the fund account, so if you have a fund account, of course, that's a lot different because you have that daily drawdown. So I would be very careful with that. I would try to keep it like 2 trades open at a time, maximum, maybe 3, okay, with 1% risk, just to be safe. But on my personal, if 6 setups form on all 6 of the pairs, I'll take them all because it's all a part of the probabilities. Again, I don't know when the winners will come, when the losers will come. If I stay out of one trade, why did I stay out of that one? Why did I take another one if all of them fit my plans? So I cannot mess with the probabilities.
Okay, no, that's a great answer, and you also mentioned a really key thing in that answer as well, just talking about correlations, and that is something that if you're at home and you're doing your back testing, you should at least consider. Is that going to impact your strategy or not, right? Because if you're trading Aussie dollar short and Euro dollar short at the same time, there's a very strong probability that both of those trades are going to move in the same direction. So you almost took 2 trades on the same thing. So you have to be careful. And, again, at the end of the day, do your back testing. Are you going to be comfortable holding multiple trades at the same time? You're going to size down. These are things that this is why we have these conversations on the stream, because it's so important. Miko, what about yourself? How many trades would you hold hypothetically at the same time as kind of a maximum?
So yeah, my normal rule is 2 trades maximum at once. So I kind of have risk parameters for my trading. So maximum amount of trades I can take in the day is 2. Max trades holding at once is 2. Max loss during the week, 3 losses. Max consecutive losses before I stop and do anything, 8. So I normally stick to those rules, and they kind of give me comfortability when I'm trading, because I know that as long as I obey them, my risk is managed on my account. But yeah, I mean, from a probability standpoint, Marco makes complete sense there, but I like having that comfortability of 2 trades. From a psychological standpoint as well, having a lot of trades makes me a little bit jumpy sometimes, but 2 is like a soft spot. It's not too much, not too little. And yeah, sometimes I do miss some trades if I do have 2 trades at one point, but I'm okay with it.
No, that's a great answer, because, you know, the point of me even asking the question is there's a bit of subjectivity here. There's a bit of knowing yourself, and, you know, trading is not a hard science. There's a reason that when, you know, you're out here trying to trade and trying to learn to trade, somebody can't just hand you a note card that says do all of these things and you will be printing money all the time, right? There are interpersonal kind of subjective nature things. How many trades can you take before you start losing your focus? How many, you know, these things are person to person. So Marco, I actually, or Miko, I personally trade similar in a way. Like I only usually hold 2 active trades at a time, or a short-term trade, because I do run kind of 2 different strategies simultaneously, where I do some options trading, as well as kind of what we talk more about here, like the active long short kind of strategies. So in terms of short-term trades, I'm on the 2 max losses per day train as well. After that, I'm kind of just like, I feel like I'm forcing trades. And I usually actually, to Marco's point about missing trades, that does actually consistently cause me to sometimes miss trades, like more opportunities set up than I actually end up taking. So sometimes I have to like filter, and you know, just a personal way that I usually do that is through the EDGEFINDER's like scoring mechanism. Like if it's a higher score and it's something that I prefer to trade, I might focus a little bit more on that. So again, lots of different personal rules that I think everybody in the audience should be asking themselves these types of questions. If I'm asking Miko and Marco, it's because I think everybody should be asking themselves. So guys, I want to thank you both for coming on the show. Before we end here, the producer here has done us a favor and dropped the links to both of you guys' channels. Marco and Miko both have YouTube channels here, of course. And if you guys are not already subscribed to them, please consider following them. They also have social medias. Just look them up. Again, find them on various social medias. It is worth a follow. It is free knowledge to help you guys out if you are learning to trade. These are great guys to learn from. So Miko, Marco, thank you very much for coming on the show today.
No problem.
Thank you, Nick.
All right, guys, have a great one. Yeah. So again, just something to think about as we go on with the show, guys, is, are you setting up rules for yourself to protect yourself, right? Are you trading in a way that, you just fire off the hip and you take 9 trades a day and you have no, rhyme or reason behind it? It's really, really important. Matang says, I want to tell you, Nick, I've been following the live stream for a while now, and this is one of the best ones today. Thank you. Thank you very much, Matang, and I appreciate that comment. We do a lot of work here to bring on some great guests every week. It is a show that has a lot of there's a lot of passion behind what you guys see here. There's a lot of people that have really invested a lot of hard work into making these shows possible. And it's a really important thing to me to put out great content that I do genuinely think will help people who are looking to learn as traders. Now, of course, we do make money from these shows, so let me not try and sound like I'm acting like a saint or anything like that. We make money here from live streaming and all that sort of stuff and our sponsors and such. But I do genuinely believe in putting out content that really hopefully will help traders who are looking to learn. I do also want to remind you guys, remember, the EDGEFINDER free day is ending today. So if you have not already submitted your request for free access to the tool, there's about 18 hours left to getting access to the tool. So if you have not already, please fill out this form right away. Again, do not hesitate. If you want to check out the tool, it is actually free. You just give us your email. You will be added, of course, to a newsletter. So there's some upfront transparency there. You'll be added to our newsletter, which you can opt out of, but you'll also be given access to the EDGEFINDER for the day by one of our support reps. So there you go. Yes. With that said, guys, that's going to wrap up the show. And I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your trading day. Please trade safe. We'll see you back on the next one. Have a great rest of your day. See ya.
And that concludes today's show. Our goal at A1 Trading is to keep you up to date with the latest market coverage through our daily videos and articles. If you like our content, make sure to subscribe for more. You can get funded today up to $200K with FX2 funding. Use our code A1Trading15 for a special discount. From all of us at A1 Trading, have a great day, and we'll see you next time.